To the one and only Tszyu.
Hi there, welcome to Boxing Deep Dive. I'm Lyndon Hosking and great to have you along for another episode of the Boxing Deep Dive weekly show. I'll bring in my co-host for tonight's show, and that is Grant Taszyu Brown. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks, Lyndon. I feel like I'm missing another little box. There's usually a little Greek fella down. Usually a little Greek fella down here with a very good boxing IQ. I'll give him that. Even though I beat him more than he beats me, and he goes to kittens and showgirls and does the shoeies. But Peter Maniatis is a busy man tonight. He's one of Australia's leading promoters. But I miss that little box in the corner of his little pretty face, little Peter.
He's always well manicured. His hair's always done. He's got the glow happening. So
it's a bit like a young John Gotti. If he was Italian, I'd think in the mafia. But being Greek, we know there's no mafia in the Greek community. So they're very good, respectful citizens.
They are. Well, yeah, Pete's at the KO show tonight, so obviously that's why he's not here.
Good luck to Joel tonight.
First
and
show.
All the boxers on the show, me and you know, Lyndon, boxing's a tough game. So anyone that gets in between those ropes for an official boxing bout, I take my hat off to you.
Respect. Yeah, no, 100%, mate. And also, as far as putting his promoter's hat on as well, KO, let alone fighting on the same show. I don't know how he does it. Stressful enough just being the promoter, let alone.
Yeah, well, I've done that a few times, Lyndon. As you know, back in 2001, 2, and fought. Actually, kicked off tonight. So it was my promotion. I promoted for 3 months. I was a main event. I had 3 amateurs that I trained. So I went in 3 amateur guys' corners, start of the night. I made sure they're on early. Then I ran. I fixed a couple of things in the crowd, couple of table problems, this and that.
Yep.
Then I give my mum and dad a kiss, and I go backstage, hands wrapped, and come out for the main event.
That's nuts.
Then after I won the fight, I come out and I broke up a scuffle in the crowd between a couple of guys. So it made the paper that I had every hat on possible that night.
Mate, I didn't know that. That is just crazy. But best of luck to everyone involved.
Yep.
In the show, and we're struggling to get a little bit of continuity or in the whole thing, with one being away each week. But anyway, we'll.
Well, Lyndon, look, you got two really prominent boxing people, myself and Peter Maniatis, and we're both very social people. Peter likes to go to King Street regularly and that, and I mean, I'm more of a family man these days. But look, we've got to get out. We've got to get just. How do you say? We've got to get that momentum together, the 3 of us. And Mike Altamura, one of the greatest boxing IQs of all time, he just won't leave Africa. He's in love.
How long has he been over there for?
Oh, probably at least 3 months.
Jeez. And showing no signs of coming back.
And he's just gone somewhere else. So I can't keep up to date with him. But I'm sure he must be doing well. I'm sure he's happy. And big shout out to Mike Altamura, my brother. Please come home, Mike. Please come home.
We need you. No, he's a good man, Mike. Well, there's plenty going on. We've got a big show again to get through tonight. Not only have we got the Aussie news coming up in a second, we've got the world news. I've got an interview, actually, with Aaron Stahl, who is fighting Nikita Zhu on March 2. We thought we'd give the young guy a bit of airtime so we can obviously be all introduced to him. He's going to be the first opponent, as I said, of Nikita. So that'll be coming up shortly. And we've got the talking points. A little bit different tonight, Taz. We've got 5 points we want to go through. Probably the main issues in world boxing at the moment, I think, that I can sort of think of. So I'll be really keen to hear your point of view. And we can obviously...
Do I win the quiz by default tonight as well?
I think you will, mate. I think you're the reigning champ anyway, aren't you?
I think I'm back to back. First ever back to back.
Yeah, you've won it on the scales tonight, mate. He's been eliminated. So, all right. Well, let's get into it straight away, mate. We're into the Aussie news now. As I said, been a fair bit going on. None more so than yesterday's announcement of the Jai Opetai Marius Briedis IBF Cruiserweight title fight. Now, it's been officially announced. However, it's no official date because Briedis had COVID. He's got over COVID, and now he's got the flu. Now, I didn't even know the flu was still around, but apparently it is, and Briedis has got it. But it's going to put the fight back maybe about 3 or 4 weeks, I think. So the main thing has been announced anyway.
Yeah, mate, and then I read that it could be postponed, so that's pretty full on.
Yeah, oh, look, it is what it is, and I'll show a grab of promoter Dean Lonigan in a second of his thoughts on it. But look, I think in this day and age, things are going to happen. Fights are going to be delayed. They're going to be postponed. They're going to be cancelled. So, but the fact that Briedis has agreed to come to Australia, I'm assuming it's not cheap to get him out here to get the champion to come to Australia. But that's what Dean Lonigan does. He did it with Pacquiao over Horn. So
Dean Lonigan, hats off to him. The runs are on the board, and as I said, we're talking about Cambosis and later. Looks like it's going to be huge, but. I don't know who's going to be that guy because Lonigan was here on Australian soil doing all the promoting and the Manny Pacquiao thing. Just massive. And now he's getting this guy here. This guy is the cruiserweight lineal champion as well. This is the main guy, in my opinion. So, look, Lonigan does a great job, and I'm not sure who's going to be that guy in Australia with the Cambosis fight, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, if you're not too familiar with Briedis, you can be rest assured this is not a secondary or third champion. This is the guy. He lost a close decision to Usyk, who's now the heavyweight champion, or one of the heavyweight champions. So the guy is a real deal, and make no mistake about it, that this is going to be one hell of a test for Jai Opetai.
Yeah, huge. I mean, Jai's a class act. I remember he was an amateur Olympian, I think the youngest Australian ever. 17
years old.
To go to the Olympics, he beat you, Lyndon. I mean, you were pretty young, but look, he's an awesome talent. Yeah. But this guy's the top dog, as you said. He lost a close decision to Usyk, and he's from Latvia, which is a beautiful country. And mate, I'm really happy for Jai and Australian boxing to have this fight here.
Yeah, well, we mentioned Dean Lonigan a little earlier, so let's just see what he had to say at the press conference yesterday. I don't know, the audio of the press conference was pretty ordinary. Actually, it wasn't in the best location, but I'm sure you can get the gist of what Dean was having to say.
There's one fight that puts the consciousness of the boxing fans or the sporting fans, and this is it for Jai. I would like to have had a couple more fights, I guess, to get his profile up. But the opportunity came along. We talked to Jai and said, "Mate, do you want to take this?" And he just grabbed it in both hands and says, "Whatever you do, one, get me that fight. Two, get me that fight in Australia." And thanks to our great partners, the Gold Coast, the TEQ, obviously Fox Sports have been nothing short of amazing. And of course, part of it, as a result of all those parties coming together, we've managed to raise money to get it here. And it's not a cheap thing to do, but this is going to be a fight that Jai Opetai becomes ingrained into the folklore of Australian boxing. I can't wait.
So look, I've dealt with Dean before, and I tell you what, he's just one of those guys that just gets the job done. No matter how long it takes, and what I's have to be dotted and what T's have to be crossed, he just does it. And the fact that he got the Pacquiao fight, of course, was a big enough tick. But the fact he's got this done as well, with all the restrictions and all the hurdles to get over, it's a feather in his cap. So. I'm sure
I really like Dean, and I respect him a lot. His runs on the board. He's a great guy. I met him a few times. The first time I met him was at one of your shows, Lyndon. But yeah, look, he's a good guy, and he's great at what he does, mate. He's the man. He gets it done, and No Limits is obviously awesome now, and they're great guys too. The Rose Boys. Not that there's no competition. I mean, they're all I take my hats off to all of them. They're all doing great for boxing, but I mean, they want to get to where he's done. He's already done the big one. He's doing another big one, so they want to, and they will. But I mean, it's good to have these two massive guys with Fox Sports and main event behind them. I mean, this is look. I mean, the undercard of this is going to be awesome because of the TV. and that's a big thing. You know, it's really good, mate. I'm really happy for boxing.
Yeah, and look, it's probably the first time that I can remember that we've got two promoters who are so prominent and think so big. I know we probably have to go right back to Bill Morty when you think about it. In this case, we've got two Bill.
He was on his own.
He was on his own, and now we've got two of them doing the same.
He's the goat. He's the goat. Bill Morty's the goat.
Yeah,
but he was on his own.
Yeah,
that's right, for years.
And he obviously had the Jeff Fennick factor as his, and then it was Jeff Harding, and then it was Costa Zhu. In this instance, you've got both Tim's with No Limit. Now you've got Jai and Justice Honey and Isaac Hardman with Dean. So look, I think it's
great.
And we
just had Jeff Horn. Sort of,
Jeff Horn, of course, yeah.
Now, but we had Jeff. So look, it's just awesome, mate. It's really gave boxing in Australia a good injection. COVID sort of helped in a way with a lot of these good Aussies fighting good Aussies because the money was there from Main Event and Fox.
Yep.
It's really positive times, and look at all the endless up and comers and guys that are probably like the Maloneys and. The Liam Wilson and other young guy, Kiefer Sam Goodman and all these guys, Nikita Zhu and
so many good kids. Yep.
Huge.
Yeah,
huge.
No, I agree, mate, and I don't think Australian boxing's been this shape for quite some time. So
for a long time. But I'll go back to the Team Fennick at its peak, or the Johnny Lewis, the Newtown days, Bill Morty with the the good high quality fights. I mean, even you talk about the Main Event guys you mentioned that Bill Morty promoted on the undercards. Justin Rousseau, who's a superstar of Australian boxing. Tony Weeby, Cliff Samartin, Dallas Costello. The list goes on and on. November Nishingala, Shannon Taylor, Love More to Do. That was just a mad era. So it's probably the best since then,
Yeah, no, I agree. And more so than ever, the opportunities that have coming up for Aussie boxers has probably never been better, really, when you think about it.
Opportunities are there. Look, when do we ever have a promoter like Eddie Hearn signing Aussies?
Yeah.
Don King didn't give a shit about Australia.
No.
Bob Aaron didn't give a shit about Australia until recently. They were the two top dogs. And then later on, you had Frank Warren. They weren't caring. You got a guy who's probably the man now, the biggest series in boxing, Eddie Hearn. He's signed, 3 or 4 Aussies right now. He's looking at doing shows here. So that connection now for us has never been seen before.
Yep. No, I agree, mate, 100%. Well, let's keep going on the Aussie theme because it's probably hard to top these types of fights, but we can with this guy, obviously Gerge Kambosos, the man. A lot of talk this week about Loma being the preferred opponent. Apparently, Haney and Eddie have dropped the ball a little bit as far as the counter offer. We're not quite sure the dealings behind closed doors, but it's now firming that the opponent's going to be Lomachenko.
Yeah, I heard that Haney's not out of the race completely from a good source, but the talk's Loma. Look, I think selling the fight is better with Loma.
Yeah.
I'm not saying general boxing public know Loma, but a lot more people would know Loma than Haney because he was a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 396 wins, 1 loss, 3 division world champion, fastest man to do it, I think. So he's still got that name. So I think it's probably better to sell. It's huge, and I think I hear Kambosos is already putting in a contract clause for a rematch in Australia. I think Loma so badly wants them belts because he missed out against Lopez.
Yeah.
He said yes to everything. I don't even think, I'm sure he'll get paid well, but I think he said it's not about the money. Get me the fight. So Loma wants this. Loma's looked good the last 2 fights on his comeback from shoulder surgery. I believe that Haney's not out of the race completely, but this is huge. And it makes sense. In Marvel Stadium, Melbourne, with the biggest Greek population to Athens. If it is going to happen, even though we said about numbers not being probably as big as they say, it's still going to be big though. It's still going to be big.
Yeah.
No, so this is exciting.
No, it is, mate. And they're talking about June 5th here, which is June 4th in the States, Saturday night. So at Marvel Stadium, which would just be massive. Just speaking of Gerge, I did see on the socials this week that he's he's out meeting with the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, and good to see that. I mean, Scott Morrison, I don't think would have known too much about him, but it was good that, unlike our last year's Australian of the Year, who totally shunned our Prime Minister, I thought that this is the way Gerge Kambosos showed the way you act with a bit of dignity in class, no matter what your political affiliation is.
Yeah, mate, I won't get too much in. I don't know.
I don't want to get political. I'm just saying.
Scott, I was there. Oh, look, but look, mate, he needs to be. He's trying to get government money to help this fight. So that was good for him. Yeah. Scott Morrison's the biggest arsehole in Australia, mind you. And anyone that votes for him, is a dickhead. But George, it's a big thing, mate. The Prime Minister or President of any country.
Well, I was just going to say, more than anything, it's not what I was getting at. Regardless of whether you're a Morrison voter or a Liberal, Labor voter or Greens, whoever you vote for, leave the politics out of it. When you meet the head of state or the leader of the country, you show dignity and a bit of respect, whether you hate the guts or not. That's what I'm getting at. So
100%. Yeah.
And look, who knows what Cambosis's political affiliation is, but he went there and he conducted himself with class.
It'd be stupid if he didn't. It'd be stupid if he didn't. I mean, he'd be trying to get government funding to get a fight over here. So you need to be like that. Yep. And I mean, that's right. So 100%.
All right. Well, we'll keep moving on. Well, hopefully more news will come, but that's the news this week. Is that June 5th is going to be the date. It's a Sunday here in Australia, Saturday night in the States at Marvel Stadium. It will be absolutely massive, especially leading into.
I don't know about you, mate. I prefer to see Loma. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I've been Loma all along, mate. I really hope he gets the gig. And the fact that I think it's going to be June. I'm not sure if it's the Queen's birthday or that's the week after, but if it is that weekend, it'll be massive with a lead into the Monday game.
No, the Queen's birthday is the
week after.
One after, because my show is June 11.
Yeah.
So my show is on the Queen's weekend.
Yeah.
One before.
Well, who knows? They might move it back a week. Who knows? But either way, doesn't matter whether it ties in with a footy or not. It's going to be massive. All right, well, let's get on to, we reported obviously on this a week or two ago, Nikita Zhu's got his professional debut against Aaron Stahl on March 2, so a lot going on with that at the moment. I just wanted to, as I said earlier, make Aaron Stahl, get a little bit to know him a bit more, I suppose, and so I caught up with him earlier in the week just to learn a little bit more about Nikita Zhu. Or the fight with Nikita Zhu, and this is what he had to say. Aaron Stahl, welcome to Boxing Deep Dive.
Welcome. Hello.
Great to have you along, mate. Now, obviously you've got the big fight penciled in for March 2nd against Nikita Zhu, mate. Obviously a couple of weeks ago the announcement was made, we had the press conference, but I must say we haven't really heard a lot about you, so just wanted to start off, tell us a little about your background. You're obviously with Dennis Clancy up there, the legendary trainer up in Townsville. Tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into boxing and where you're at these days.
Yeah, so it's a funny story, with my brother bullying me, put me in some deep, dark places, and then obviously going up to the gym. Well, someone told me to go to the gym, there's a good trainer, and I just started going and just started getting into it. Kind of worked out good with me and my brother, because one time we got in a fight and I just one little left jab as he come in and nearly knocked him out, and since then we've now been best friends.
Is he older or younger?
Older brother.
As they always are, yep.
Yeah, so in a way it's probably some of the best thing he did was bully me, and he's then gone to boxing and learnt a lot from that.
So, how did you hook up with Dennis Clancy, mate? He's obviously well renowned in the industry. Was it just by chance, or did you just seek him out, or how did you hook up with him?
Well, I was working in this in Leonard's Chicken, and the guy there said go down to the PCYC. That is, where Dennis was. So I went down there, and Dennis was the trainer.
Yep, he's got a very good background, Dennis. Floyd Masson actually trains there as well.
Floyd. Nah, Mark Bam Bam. He
sorry.
Went to
yes.
school together
Sorry.
as well.
My mistake. It's Bam Bam. Sorry about that. I mixed that up. So yeah. So he's obviously been a good influence on you as well.
Yeah, Mark is. We went to school together. He was one of my first mates when I come up here. So yeah, then going down to the boxing gym, and me and him were just yeah, sparring partners for a long time there.
And you've had 3 fights now, so 2 wins, 1 loss. I've got them here. You've beat James Language back in 2020. David Chan was a draw. Michael Bagley was your most recent fight with a 6-round decision. So, and you're obviously with, I did mention, Anjo De Carlo. It must be great to be with, the prominent, or one of the prominent promoters in Australia at the moment.
Yeah, that's actually really great. He's top bloke. I really, got a lot of time for him. It's really good to be on his cards. He's looked after us.
Yeah. All right, mate. So let's get on to the big news that's just been announced in the last couple of weeks. Nikita Zhu. Tell us a little bit about how that fight came about.
I was in the mines last year. Towards December there, I just started like, nah, I'm over it. I want to quit the mines. I want to get back into boxing.
Don't blame you. Yeah.
I ended up quitting. Yeah, I ended up quitting, and I was coming to the new year. Dennis, I was telling Dennis I'm training again, I want to fight, and then he just called me up one afternoon and said, hey mate, Nikita, would you be interested? They're looking for a fighter. And I was like, me, really? Okay, yeah, I'll fight him.
So is that how it came about?
Yeah.
So there's no hesitation. It's just bring it on, because I can imagine from their point of view it would have been hard to get an opponent for him, but obviously you jumped straight into it.
Yeah. They said they were looking for. Yeah, they couldn't find a fighter, and Dennis said he thinks it would be a good fight. And yeah, so.
Yeah, because I think the thing that people forget about with Nikita is he actually hasn't been in the ring for quite some time, and didn't really have an extensive amateur career. And I suppose it's great to have the last name, but I suppose you take it all into account. You've got to if you didn't give yourself a chance, you wouldn't be in there. But so what do you think? You can see a little bit of the vision of him here, Aaron. What do you think that you bring that that can upset the apple cart?
I just think my mental toughness. I've had a lot of years, like even just working in the mine, some of the stuff we used to do, just 12-hour days non-stop. That and the training, go home and still train. I think my mental toughness is going to be the key for this fight. My fitness is really up there.
Have you actually seen a lot of him, Aaron? I mean, there's obviously the clips and out there. Have you actually seen any fights of him as an amateur?
Yeah, I've looked at all his YouTube videos.
Okay, yep.
So yeah, he's going to be a good counter fighter on the back foot a bit. Good left hand coming through.
And how does it feel after 3 fights to be the main event on a Fox Sports presentation?
Oh, unbelievable. Still hard to believe, but it's happening, and I guess I've kind of wanted this, and it's now happening.
So I just got to ask you, we brought this up on our show last week. They had the big press conference, and you had the big banners and the media and all that was there, and I actually commented that was it an insult to you that you weren't actually there? How did you feel about that? Was it an instance of you not being able to be there, or that you weren't invited?
Oh, Dennis was saying that we might be going down there, and then I was kind of waiting for the phone call, and then obviously I just seen they were posting about it. So look, it happens. I'm not worried about it. I get to stay home and put more time into training, and get more focused towards the fight.
Yeah, well, I'm sure in the lead up to it, they'll obviously use more of you, of course, obviously being the main event. But I must admit, I found it a little bit strange that there's a massive big poster of you, and you're 6 foot tall, and your name's up in lights, and you're not even invited. So I'm sure they'll get you back at some stage. But Aaron, just tell us a little bit about your influences as far as your career goes. We spoke about Bam Bam before, but what other fighters did you look up to, and have you modelled your style on?
Model my style on. I was looking at Delian Paro, because he used to go through the Hawkshaw a little bit there and went under Mark. He's been a big influencer. Tim Zhu himself.
Yeah, bit
been
ironic
watching
there.
his last fights, and he's a big influencer too, especially in Australia. Cambosis, really good to see him going really good. Canelo is probably my all-time pound-for-pound boxer in the world. I think a lot of people.
I think so. Yeah, no, definitely. So just getting back to Nikita, mate. So what for all the boxing fans that haven't actually seen you on YouTube or wherever it might be, or on Ace Boxing Show, what will you bring to the table? I know you mentioned before your mental toughness and your conditioning. What should the fans out there be looking for when you step into the ring with Nikita Zhu on the 2nd of March? What are we going to see?
Yeah, a tough fight. Me and Nikita. I believe it's going to go to 6 rounds, and it's going to be a challenging fight for both of us. And it's going to be good to watch. I'm
sure it will be. I think we'll all be watching it, the fight. And as I said, it's unbelievable that you've had 3 fights and you're now the main event. And I think the main support fight to you is Liam Wilson in a rematch against his. Is it Noine, I think it is, who beat him last time. So yeah, it's not a bad foray into the Fox Sports world anyway for you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it's all good, mate. Well, again, we really appreciate you coming on. We wish you nothing but the best, and I think it's great that the Australian public get to meet you and speak to you, and hopefully in the lead up to the fight we see a lot more of you, mate. And on behalf of us, best of luck. It's great that you've stepped up and taken a fight that a lot of other fighters weren't going to take, and all the very best in this fight and also going forward.
All right, thank you for the call.
Appreciate it, Aaron. Good luck, mate. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
So there he is. There he was, Aaron Stahl. So like he looks like a tough kid, Tszyu. I think we all know he's up against it. I think he knows he's up against it. But you've got to give the kid credit for jumping in there against the butcher.
Seems like a nice guy, mate. Typical Northern Queensland boy, like tough. Works hard in the mines. Then guys, they all come to fight, mate. They all sort of don't really care much about records and that. They just have a crack, and he seems like that, very obviously typical tough guy from up there in Queensland. Mate, look, he's 2-0, and he's having a crack. I mean, Nikita, as much as we know, or we think, but we sort of know how good he's going to be, he still, hasn't fought since he was a junior. I don't think he fought as a senior, as an amateur, so he was a schoolboy and junior champion. I think he's going to be an absolute weapon. But I mean, look, you got to start somewhere, and I mean, this is a good, man. A guy 2-0. Yep. A lot of guys in America that are trying to build prospects, 4-round fights, as you know, in America, they fight guys who are losing records and guy, you know what I mean. So he's fighting a guy 2-0. He hasn't fought as a man yet, Nikita. And no, it's good, mate. So look, you got to start somewhere. Yep. This is a good start.
Yep.
And well done to Aaron for taking the fight. And I'm sure Nikita will get the job done. Yeah. And he's just going to move along like Timmy did, and be the other face of Australian boxing. Yeah,
I did actually mention during the interview that he was 2-1. He's actually 2-0-1 with the draw, not a loss. So I'm sure we'll get a good fight there. So one last thing on the Aussie front, Taszyu. I see this fight, Paul Fleming and Jackson England is on the Sonny Bill Williams and Barry Hall card.
Yeah, I love Paul Fleming. He's a many years dear friend of mine, and but I thought him and Bilal Dib, former teammates, were meant to fight, and that was the fight that was sort of happening. But now this one's just been organised. So Tony Toge, the great manager, has Jackson England. Paul Fleming's obviously, I think still might get tomorrow. I'm not 100%, but he's obviously been with MTK Global, Top Rank. He's been with the best in the game. So good Aussie fight. I think in shape, prime Paul Fleming wins. I don't know how Paul's going at the moment. I don't know much about Jackson. Obviously, he can fight. He's undefeated. I think Paul Fleming, anywhere near his best, will get the job done.
Yeah. 10 to agree, mate. But look, more great Aussie fights being made, and that's on the, as I said, the Sonny Bill Williams and Barry Hall undercard. So looking forward to that one. Let's go.
That's a good.
Yep. Sorry, mate.
That's a good show to be on. We were actually asked to be on that show.
Yeah.
Jim Gambosis messaged me about my fighter Bo Belbin to fight Terry Nichols, and we already scheduled a fight on the 6th of March. So it didn't really work out. But, you know, I said, look, thanks for the offer. Great opportunity. And Terry's a great kid. I know Terry well. And a good boxer. But that could happen down the track. Could even happen on the Cambosis Lomachenko undercard. Who knows? Because Terry's with Team Cambosis. But, yeah, so we were asked to be on the show and then asked again to be on the No Limit show against Zerafa. So he's a very experienced guy. So, look, you know, my boy Bo Bell, who's at a mad spar with the Bella brothers today, he's 5-0, but, you know, I've got a plan for him to bring him along, and you got to crawl before you walk in this game, Lyndon.
Yep, 100%, mate. Well, the last thing I wanted to cover, this is something that's just broke today. We haven't got the full details of it just yet, but the Castano Charlo rematch might be postponed. It hasn't been postponed, but there's talk that Castano's had a bicep tear, which doesn't sound overly great with the fight being, I think, 4 weeks away. That obviously impacts Tszyu's fight over there. Whether the card goes on, they get a replacement, who knows? But it's just breaking news today, so we'll keep everyone up to date. But either way, mate, it doesn't look good.
No, obviously, you know, 10 minutes ago we found it out, and yeah, look, it doesn't look good. And you know, if it does get postponed, obviously Tim's debut in America, because he's on the show, gets postponed. But Lyndon, we know boxing, the game, mate. You're never in the ring until you're touching gloves. Not even at the weigh-in. Don't even think you got the fight at the weigh-in until you're in the ring, and he's about to touch your gloves. Referee says, "Here we go, boys, touch gloves." The fight's not on until then, because anything can happen. Yeah. Anything can happen.
Well, exactly, and especially, look, well, as I said, we'll keep everyone updated. I'm sure all the socials will be updating anyway, but we did actually plan to be going over there to cover the fight, so that might be in doubt now. Might just be going over there for a holiday, Tassie, but we'll see how we go. But as I said, we'll keep everyone...
if anyone deserves a holiday, then it's you, mate.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
my wife
you're one of the hardest working guys I know, and I think your wife actually is the one that deserves a holiday. But anyway.
I think she does. But look, either way, we'll be covering the fight and really looking forward to not just this fight, but some other events during the year that we can get over there and cover as well. So let's get on to some world news, mate, because there's been a little bit going on as well. Last weekend, John Ryder, upset victory over Daniel Jacobs. I'm not sure whether you watched it. I did. Look, I will admit I thought that Ryder was extremely lucky to get the decision, but I know he's also been on the receiving end of some suspect decisions as well. He won 115, 113 times 2, and the other judge was 115, 113 for Jacobs. So I'm not sure whether you watched it.
What did you think?
Look, I would have had it 115, 113 for Jacobs. I thought he did enough. I thought Ryder came home okay. He had an
early lead, didn't he?
I thought Jacobs pretty much dominated the first half of the fight. Ryder came home. There's a few close rounds, but look, end of the day, it's in England. Good luck to him. Jacobs didn't protest too much about the decision, so maybe they agreed with it, but I thought he was very, very lucky. But either way, who knows, he might have put himself in line to fight Canelo at the end of this year or maybe next year.
I was close to tipping him because I think Jacobs, I think did say the other day, he has declined a bit. You know, Jacobs had a tough fight with Gabe Rosado, tough fight with the Ukrainian or Russian guy. And Ryder's been going well lately, unlucky against Callum Smith. You know, beat Akaway, you know, some good wins. But I just thought Jacobs probably too experienced, and I stuck with him. The other guy, it's in England, but don't forget, Jacobs is with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah,
and
he
with
is,
zone. So, you know, there's no really home cooking there because he's part of the he's with the promoter, so you know. Yeah. Look,
I thought Ryder fought well. I thought Jacobs just went to sleep. You know, the first half of the fight, he was the dominant fighter. Especially he burst out the blocks. It was looking like it'd be an easy win for him, but Ryder just hung in there. He won a couple of rounds. He got a bit of momentum, and Jacobs just really faded badly in the last few. I've actually thought Jacobs the last two might have snuck home, but look, the last few were pretty close. But as I said, I just thought Jacobs did enough to win, but good luck to Ryder because he's now put himself in line for a massive payday. I wouldn't say probably this year, but probably early next year, I would say.
Yeah, good on him, mate. Jacobs has had his time, like big fights against Canelo and Triple G. I'm sure he got paid well. riders, you know, good luck to him, mate. You know what I mean? I want to see all fighters make money.
Yep.
I want to see all fighters retire, never have to work again. Because so many great legends have ended up, you know, losing money, ended up with nothing. So I'm all about fighters making money, mate. I'm wrapped, you know.
Yeah. All right, mate. Next point on the agenda of world news is this man, Ryan Garcia, has split from Eddie Reynoso and will now be trained by Joe Goosen. Apparently, Garcia worked with Goosen as an amateur. I mean, Goosen's got a good pedigree. He's trained the Rules brothers, Michael Nunn, Diego Corrales,
but he's old,
Shane Mosley.
He wouldn't be at his best, though. I mean, he'd be passing a bit.
Yeah.
I don't agree with this. I met Ryan Garcia at Eddie Racino's gym, Canelo's gym, with Blackaway, Mick Ackway were there. Awesome young man. He just finished sparring, and he was a true gentleman. Didn't have to give me the time of day, but he did. I rate him. He's a bloody very fast guy. Great left hook. Him and Devin Haney, I think, were 2-2 or 4. I think they had 4 fights, amateurs, 2 each. He sparred everyone. Sparred Tank. He sparred Lopez. I don't know about the mental breakdown and that. He had a year off or something. He can fight. I don't agree with leaving Eddie Racino, who's the man at the moment.
Yep.
Great team with Canelo. Valdez is there, Oscar Valdez.
Ruiz.
Lopez could be going there. Well, I'm talking about more guys that he could spar. Valdez, Lopez could be going there.
Yeah.
And they're different weights now. I think I hear this is more behind him wanting to push his own gym in San Diego.
His own brand, yeah.
But I don't agree, mate. Given the year he's had off with mental issues, now you leave this camp. And look, I tell you now, it doesn't hurt to be close to Canelo because Canelo's the man.
Yep.
And being on undercards and all that. I don't know, man. Look, I know he's got 12 million followers on Instagram. I know he's more a celebrity. I don't know how that works, as in he's still not a boxing world champion yet. So I don't know if having followers on Instagram is equivalent to a world title. I don't know. But he's a nice guy. He's got all talent. But I'm a bit shocked by this, and I think it's a wrong move. But who am I? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, mate. I can understand sort of where he's coming through, that he wants to create his own brand and have his own gym and be the man, I suppose, because whenever he trains...
He's got his own brand. He's a celebrity.
Yeah.
He probably hangs out with the Kardashians, for fuck's sake.
He probably does. Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. Another big fight this weekend, mate, is one... I suppose we're looking forward to Amir Khan, Kell, Brook. It's been a long time.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's a long time coming.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, well, it's this weekend. As I said, it's been a long time in the making. Been a lot of back and forth between the two guys. I'll show a clip in a minute. But great for massive for British boxing, isn't it? Look,
it's finally happening. Like, these two guys have gone at it for years. Khan always sort of... I used to spar before the Olympics on one hand, tied behind my back. When Brook went on and made his own name, I mean, he's always been, I guess, the shadow of Khan, because Khan actually made that he become a celebrity in England and that. Mate, this is good. Me and Pierre Cram was having a bit of a chat yesterday, and he said, Khan, I've gone for Brook. So it's actually, I'm actually looking forward to it, mate. Yeah. They both can still fight. They're not old men. So I reckon this is good.
And they're similar, they're the same age, similar careers, I suppose. Khan's probably had the more illustrious career, I would maybe say. But
yeah, he was a unified champion at one stage at junior welterweight, 2 belts. He went up and fought Canelo. Brook went up and fought Triple G. Yep. Both didn't work out for him.
Both lost to Crawford.
Both lost to Crawford. Kell done good against Spence until he got stopped. I think the Triple G injury with the cheekbones didn't help him.
Yep.
The eye socket. Both really good fighters. Never pound for pound, I don't think, but both great fighters. My friend from Scotland, Jonathan Thane, has been helping Brook prepare. I met Jonathan Thane in Canada with Luke Jackson when I was coaching Luke. So he's a pro, good guy. I think he's got a decent record. He's been sparring Brook because he's a sort of taller, quick guy. He's been sparring Brook regularly, actually.
Yeah, well, this is what they've had to say in the last few weeks. It's been pretty spiteful, to be honest. Check this out.
The fight's happening now. That's why the fight's happening now. It didn't happen
alone. It's happened. We keep going over, but
exactly. But no.
Have I run from this fight?
Have I run from it? No, I'm not running from it either. I just had better opportunities at the time. I've never run from a fight. Listen, bro. I have never run from a fight.
This fight could have happened time ago.
What's happening now? So
I'm just telling you, though. I'm telling you, though.
You know, once I smash you up,
you're gonna get smashed.
Once I smash you up, once I smash you up, you're just coming up with excuses. That's why you know you've lost the fight. I'm looking at you in your eyes now.
You know for a fact what I'm bringing. You know for a fact what I'm bringing.
Bring what you want. Listen, I'm the one who sent my guy to you, to your team, to say, let's make the fight happen.
This fight for time.
Well, no one ever come knocking on my door.
You are going to get knocked out, Amir.
I can see right through your eyes.
Do I look like?
You've lost the fight already.
Are you sure?
Honestly, you.
Or do you think that I'm driven and I'm wanting to take
No, not at all.
Are you sure?
Not at all, mate. I can see right through you, mate.
Okay.
You are empty inside. You're scared.
I'm scared.
Honestly, you are. Deep down, that's why you're talking so much.
No, I'm not.
The way you're talking and going on about it.
I want you to know. Yeah, I want you to know. I want you to look at me and understand that I'm going to be over with you when you're out cold. You.
Okay.
You're getting knocked out. You know what it's like to be knocked spark out, don't you? It's going to happen again.
Definitely fighting words there, mate. So, yeah, look, for
Johnny
Nelson
just sitting back there. Johnny Nelson sitting back letting them go, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, check it out on YouTube. There's a few different episodes. It goes for.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I saw the press conference, but I haven't seen.
Yeah. All right, one last thing happening this weekend, Tazzy. It is Jaime Munguia against Demetrius Bella, which shouldn't be a bad fight. It's on DAZN, as you can see there. Munguia 38-0, 30 KOs. Bella 21-0 with 1 draw, 13 KOs. It's in Tijuana. So if you've got nothing on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, check it out. It's on DAZN and shouldn't be a bad fight.
Yeah, Munguia's a good fighter. I keep wanting to see a little bit more of him. You know, I think he could be even better than what he is, and I'm sort of. Yeah, a couple of close fights with some guys. But look, yeah, he's a good fighter when he's on. And I don't know much about the other guy, but Munguia obviously must start being the favourite, I guess.
Yeah, you would think so. So, yeah, as I said, check it out. It's on DAZN. If you've got the app, it's $2.99 a month. So you'd be crazy not to have it because every weekend there seems to be some sort of a event.
I don't know if I can afford that, Lyndon.
Yeah, $2.99 compared to $60 for main event anyway, but that's a different story. All right, mate, I know we've got to finish up a little bit earlier tonight, but we've got one last segment to get through, and that is Zerafa versus Hardman, the road to. Here it is.
He's a disrespectful fighter, and like I said, man, I cannot wait to punch fucking holes in him.
What did I say? He was face down. I was going to point his toes to the ceiling, but face down, we'll do it now like a Wednesday expire, so I'm fighting Isaac Hardman. Who? Isaac who? No. He should have stayed on the couch. Tell me that. He should have stayed on the couch. 6 or 7 weeks.
One fight. Mate, please, kick back and enjoy yourself. One fight. Like I said, watch the show. Have a Coke and a hot dog. Don't worry, I've got a ringside seat too.
Fucking Tom Cruise, mate. You're a fucking waker.
So a little bit going on there. Look, we're still in, pre-announcement mode, I suppose. So look, we're only, I think we're 9 weeks out, I think. So you'd think it would have to be announced pretty soon with a press conference. What do you think? Another week or so, surely?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, as I said, not a lot going on. Just, again, the old back and forth. This is what a little bit is what Zerafa has been up to. Training with Guyton Grantley. Who was he again, Tazzy? Carl Williams in the underbelly?
Carl Williams.
Yeah. I reckon you would have made a good
what do you call this?
A good Jason Moran, I reckon.
Yeah, I've had a few say that to me, actually, yeah.
That's him showing the gym, so that's what Michael's been up to.
That smell about it.
All right, this is him showing us the venue and a little bit of his recovery. Sorry, that's the wrong one. I'll go to the next one. This is the venue, which looks pretty cool. I hope they pack it out. It should be great. A little bit of Michael in his recovery. So I know this is really enthralling stuff, but I'd just like to know who's actually taking this footage, by the way, Tazzy. I know he's got an assistant in there helping him out, I'd say.
Yeah, I reckon so.
And Hardman. Well, it's always entertaining with Isaac Hardman. This is what he's been up to. This is him working out how he's going to lose the weight in the lead up to the fight. You can see his tags there.
So I've just figured out some guesswork and a whole heap of quick math, but there's 63 days left to the weigh-in, maybe 5 kilos. So if I get in the bath and lose 200 grams a day for 63 days, it means I lose 12.6 kilos, which means I'll come in on the scales at 72.4 kilos. So I'll make weight comfortably if I lose 200 grams a day in the bath, which is easy. Pretty sure. I'm not sure, but I think so. Guess.
So come on, guys. We need a little bit better than what you've been putting up on your social media. I mean, that's all we've got. Actually, you would have seen it in the intro then, though, Tazzy. I haven't seen the interview in full, but Michael Zerafa did an interview the other day, and something about Tom Cruise come up. Let's check that out. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. Go back that way.
Maybe as soon as the camera, I just switch on this Tom Cruise.
Fucking Tom Cruise, mate. You're fucking way.
All right. So excuse the language if you're not used to that, but look, Isaac's been pretty cool with the whole thing. He's been G'ing things up. So come on, Michael. You got to get your acting in gear a little bit there. We need a bit more. Stuff to put in this segment. It's the road to Zerafa and Hardman. At the moment, we've just got a few Instagram posts. So I'm hoping from the next week or so, we at least have the press conference, and then we can obviously get into some serious training and some footage showing them sparring and pads and all the good stuff, rather than relying on just. I think though, Tazzy, it's my own fault. I probably jumped the gun a little bit too early about a month ago by creating this segment because we haven't had a lot to hang out on in the meantime. But look. As I said, I'm sure it'll heat up, and we'll get plenty of stuff to put in the segment. So that's about it for that, Tazzy. Thoughts at the moment? I know you've been probably more Hardman, or which way are you going at the moment? What are your early feelings?
No, look, mate. I know both guys well. I like both guys as human beings. I just. Zerafa's got the skills. He's got the the record, finding guys like Brook and and giving good account of himself. And he's you can't say that he's hasn't got a chin because he gets got up from the 2 horn knockdowns and so you can't just say Hardman's going to come out and chin him because nothing in Zerafa's career is going to tell you that that's what's going to happen. So, look, great fight. Hardman's a puncher's chance, but Zerafa's got a lot more, I think, arsenal, and the fact that he's been in those big fights. Best thing about Hardman is that he's been active and he's been fighting more than anyone in Australia alongside Tszyu. And mate, he's going to come to win. He's going to come to hurt Zerafa. He's going to come with bad intentions, but we're talking boxing here, and I just think Zerafa's got, the skills and the resume of big fights, such as Horn and Kell, Brook and Peter Quinlan and in Russia. But look, it's a great fight, mate. You know what I mean? And but I just think if we're talking boxing and got to go, I think he's just got a little bit more in the department. Well, I'm but I rate Hardman. I rate him. He's a ripper. He's a good dude. He's a banger. Look, no matter what, I'm sure they'll hug each other after the fight. Like
mate. Well, that's
it is what it is, mate. They both make money. They're both putting themselves out there. I mean, Kambosis and Tszyu are the 2 front runners in Australian boxing. So these 2 are putting their names out there and they're staying relevant, and it's good for both guys. So I wish them both all the best. Their promoters, both all the best. All the teams, all the best. And it's the best fight out there between 2 Aussies at the moment.
Well, you're right. And hopefully it'll be just another part of what's going to be just a massive year for Australian boxing. There's so many big events that are going to be announced very soon. So I can't wait to cover them. But look, in the meantime, like you said, this is probably the best domestic fight we have. and looking forward to within the next week or two for the press conference, and then some serious footage and content that we can give you rather than the banter between the two. So come on, Michael and Isaac, let's get some quality stuff on your social media. So, mate, we're going to leave it at that for tonight. We've got to cut it a little bit short. We've got a bit on. We've had to just alter timing for this show. So next week we've got Peter back. Plenty to talk about. I've got heaps with the talking points, the quiz. We can go over a lot more segments, a little bit more in detail. But I hope you've enjoyed just a little bit update what's going on. We should have more news on Tim's fight in the States next week as well.
100%, mate. And a shout out to everyone in Tassie. Get behind Bo Bilbin, 5-0. You know, he's been sparring some of the best fighters in Melbourne. Daniel Roberts, Joel Taylor, the Butler brothers. You know, I mean, get behind him. Shout out to Bill Hack, who's a massive supporter, and Chris Dodge. And mate, just keep supporting Tasmanian boxing guys. You know what I mean? You know, they need the support. They need the sponsorship.
Good stuff. All right, mate. Well, you have a good rest of the night, and we'll catch you next week.
See you, Lyndon.
See you, mate.